Good morning once again, everybody. Welcome to the morning filibuster here in Senator Epke's office. Brandon here, and then Trevor joined me. And today we're going to talk about an important bill that Senator Epke has introduced. It's LB 789. It's going to be in a hearing today in the Revenue Committee. Trevor is actually the expert on this one, so he's going to explain it all to you today.
Good morning, everyone. So we're going to go over Legislative Bill 789, a bill for an act relating to the marijuana and controlled substances tax. Really quickly, I want to go into a brief history of the actual the origin of the marijuana and controlled substances tax. It actually originates to 1937. It is actually called the 1937 Marijuana Tax Act, and what it did was put a $200 fine, or it was $200 tax essentially for any farmer that wanted to grow hemp. It was basically them buying their license. $200 in 1937 is a substantial amount of money. So, needless to say, farmers quit growing hemp. We've grown it here in Nebraska in the past. It was something that was actually huge in colonial America, but they stopped growing it. And the reason that the federal government did this was because there were companies, namely DuPont, that had just developed nylon, and higher men in government that had an interest in DuPont, investment in it, they basically realized, oh, we should cut down this competition so that DuPont can make more money for us. So successfully, they implemented that tax act, and from there you saw a career of something called yellow journalism, which basically stereotyped Hispanic immigrants as being menaces due to the influence of marijuana. This was ramped up through the 40s, 50s, and eventually led to the creation of the drug war. So that's the brief history on the actual tax act. But what it leads up to is the Nebraska Marijuana and Controlled Substances Tax, which we have an information guide right here. This was actually implemented in 1991, and I want to go. It actually documents just what the Controlled Substances Tax does. The first bullet point I really want to hit, though, is who owes the drug tax? And they legitimately say, a dealer who is any person that illegally acquires or possesses 6 or more ounces of marijuana, 7 or more grams of any controlled substance which is sold by weight, so that could be cocaine or morphine, any other sort of controlled substance, and then 10 or more dosage units of any controlled substance which is not sold by weight. That'd be your pills, your Oxycontin, Tramadol, Xanax, what have you. We'll actually post the link to this document in the video, but it says, when is the drug tax due? A dealer is required to pay the drug tax to the department immediately upon acquisition or possession of marijuana or controlled substances in Nebraska.
What else?
Who owes the drug tax? A dealer who is any person that illegally acquires or possesses. It's very simple. Why are we're making criminals do this? How do you expect criminals to follow the law?
It's almost with taxation applied to something that's illegal. It's almost a government sanctioning a product. Even it's kind of contradictory. This is the actual drug stamp here, kind of out of focus. But anyway, we will pass this out, copies of it in the hearing today. We're ready to go. We'll see how it goes. It's just a common sense reform, I think. And got anything else to?
Yeah, there's just we had one last thing that we actually wanted to cover, I thought. So actually the entire purpose of the bill, the last thing I wanted to hit on with this was what happens if the dealer does not have sufficient drug tax stamps. The department may, and it listed a few things, one of the things that stuck out to me was place a lien on the dealer's property. So essentially, really what this bill does, what LB 789 does, is it goes to strike out bad governance. Because the drug tax itself has directly generated only $13,000 in 26 years. Or no, maybe 27, and it was 2018, and it was implemented in 1981. $13,000 over 27 years.
That's just the sales of the stamp itself. We're talking about, obviously, with the penalties and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's generated somewhat more.
And that's another important subject to talk about is the extra penalties this puts on people. Obviously, corrections is a big issue right now, and a lot of the increased burden, can be attributed to bad laws like this. So.
You get a backlogged court system. You get people in prison who are doing non-violent offenses. it's getting right back up. I would definitely encourage everyone to be tuning into NET TV to see the hearing. It kicks off at 1:30 today, and I think that's all we have for you.
Yep, good to visit everybody. Have a good day. Trevor and I will see you again on the next edition of the Morning Filibuster.